courage, compassion, faith, freedom, truth. It's time for Courage in the Darkness with the host, Phil Roberts. Awakening America to the indoctrination and radicalization. Let's get into it.
There's a question that keeps coming up in our culture, and it sounds innocent enough on the surface. Who's to say what's right and wrong? You hear it everywhere, in classrooms, on social media, and political debates, and even in churches. Behind that question is an assumption that's reshaping America in ways most people don't fully recognize yet. We're living through one of the most dramatic moral shifts in our nation's history. What was considered virtuous 50 years ago is now called bigotry, and what was once shameful is now actively celebrated. Anyone who dares to suggest that some things are objectively right and others are objectively wrong gets labeled as judgmental, intolerant, or worse. This isn't just about politics. What we're witnessing is the steady erosion of the very idea that truth exists independent of our own feelings about it. The name for this philosophy is moral relativism. It's the water we're all swimming in, the default operating system of our culture, and it's destroying us from the inside out. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how this ideology works in practice, how it weakens our communities, and why we have to fight back. Let's start with the basics. Moral relativism is the belief that moral judgments are only true or false relative to a specific standpoint, meaning what's right for you might not be right for me. It sounds tolerant on the surface, but in practice, it means nothing is actually wrong. Murder, theft, and abuse, they just become personal preferences, no different than choosing vanilla over chocolate or vice versa. This philosophy is completely incoherent and collapses under its own weight. If someone says, all moral truths are relative, they're making an absolute truth claim. The relativist wants to claim that there are no absolute truths, while absolutely insisting you accept their relativism. But this isn't just an academic problem. It is actively destroying real trust. Trust requires shared standards and objective moral truths that bind us all. When moral relativism enters the picture, every promise comes with an asterisk, and every commitment becomes provisional. Look at our institutions today. Our government agencies lie routinely, the media pushes brazen propaganda, and academic institutions punish dissenting thought. Why? Because there's no objective standard to appeal to anymore. It's trickled down into our personal lives, fracturing marriages, fracturing friendships, and leaving society atomized into competing individuals with no concern for the common good. Look at how this all plays out in our culture right now, starting with the redefinition of fundamental realities. We're told that biological sex is a social construct, that a man can become a woman by declaring it, and that children should be given life-altering surgeries based on temporary feelings. This isn't compassion. It's moral relativism run amok. If physical reality can be redefined based on subjective experience, everything is up for grabs. And notice what happens to anybody who objects. They're demonized, fired, or canceled. Moral relativism isn't actually tolerant. When taken to its logical conclusion, it enforces ideological conformity with an iron fist because it can't survive the existence of objective truth. This total lack of moral guardrails is killing us. The sexual revolution promised liberation but delivered broken families and skyrocketing rates of depression. The drug legalization movement used relativistic logic, and now our cities are plagued with tent cities, open-air drug markets, and soaring overdose deaths. Even economically, greed and exploitation are excused as just different priorities. Well, inflation destroys the middle class. On a personal level, this philosophy creates profound psychological damage. Human beings are hardwired to need moral clarity. When you raise children without a compass, you ain't liberating them. You are abandoning them to anxiety, depression, and confusion. This is the fight of our time. Moral relativism promises freedom but always delivers slavery, misery, and decline. The truth, on the other hand, delivers exactly what it promises: meaning, purpose, and hope. It's not an easy path, but it's the only one worth building and passing on to the next generation. Proverbs 12 verse 22 tells us, "Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight." In a world of shifting standards and relative truth, faithfulness to what is actually true is how we align ourselves with God's reality instead of trying to construct our own. We don't need our truth. We need the truth, because the truth is the only thing that will set us free. Check us out at titdusa.com. Stand with us, support the mission, refuse the silence. I'll see you next time.